This video is more an inspirational rant more than it is like productive analytical advice that you can implement. So if you don't care about that, go ahead and leave. If you do want to watch this and maybe you feel a bit stuck in what you're doing and you feel like maybe you could use a few more thoughts or a push in the right direction, then maybe this is right for you. If you're watching this video, you probably want to start a business or you're in the process, but you might not be doing as well as you want to be. Now, while my experience is still limited at this point, what I can say is there are a few things that have helped me and also allowed me to get this far. So the first thing is consistency. For me, starting out, it was more important to make a commitment to make videos every day rather than make a few videos and then make those videos really good. Now that might sound a bit counterintuitive in terms of a priority of getting the most views, but the reason I initially made that commitment was because I was still a student and I also had a part-time job. So for me, what I had to work with was a few hours every day. And I would rather become really good at being consistent and then build on top of that and then start increasing the quality than making a few videos every now and then and not really have the skill of consistency. And I'm actually really happy for the majority of the way that I chose to do this. The reason is being consistent has allowed me to continue up until this point, almost 3 years later, still making videos every day and having that kind of as part of my business identity, meaning that I'm going to continue doing it for as long as I can think. But it's also allowed me to understand how important consistency is in so many other aspects than just necessarily content. Whether that's doing advertisements every day or the small things you do with your clients or your customers, you need to be consistent. If you're struggling with consistency, if you're watching this video going, yeah, but David, it's so easy for you to say, you probably have an easy time doing all this. No, I don't. I can tell you that much. I definitely have an easier time now than earlier, but we all have hard things and hard times and days we have to deal with. And when you're looking at something like consistency, if you don't feel consistent, and this is just a brutal experience on my part, it's just not important enough. And I don't even like having to remind myself of this, but it's really been the one most helpful thing, meaning that it's not a big enough part of my identity and there's not a big enough reason why I have to do it. So let's take consistency. If you're struggling to get up in the morning and get up, maybe not even early, but just get up at the same time every day, it's because one, you've not coerced yourself into having the identity of I'm a person who gets up at this time every day. And secondly, it's because there's not a big enough consequence for not doing it. And that sounds shitty, but it's true, at least to my experience. Second thing is focus. And focus is just, it's a crazy superpower. I'm just more and more understanding it. Like even if I thought I understood it before, it's just becoming so much more prevalent in everything I do. So when I say focus, it's mostly related to one, prioritizing the tasks that are the most important for where you are, whether that's a revenue generating or delivering to clients or advertising, whatever bottleneck you have to solve, actually prioritizing that focus. And then secondly, when you're executing on those tasks, for how long at a time can you stay in that deep work zone? And both of these are something you have to train. I think one of the things university can help with, or college for that matter, is you're kind of forced to study. You're not forced to, but it's recommended that you do study. And when you study, you practice your focus. Same at the job. So if you're at a job which doesn't involve other human contact, then usually you'll be pretty focused with the work that you're doing. And the more that I enable myself to do, like I would say 4 to 5 hour blocks of focused work, like the more I get done, the more of the right stuff I get done. I would say for me personally, 2 to 3 hours is usually like without a break, the upper limit, quick break, then going back or going into the next task. But the more you can get into the zone and stay there, I think you'll find it to be transformative. If you're struggling with focus, if you're like, I keep getting distracted, again, kind of goes back to the identity thing. Are you a person who tells themselves that they are focused? Like, I'm a person who's focused. I'm a person who works multiple hours at a time without allowing energy and attention to shift to other distractions. So when shit happens, when you're working, one, put your phone away or on do not disturb if you haven't already, of course. Secondly, if something catches your attention, how quickly can you draw yourself back in? And one, you have to expect that you fail, but you have to constantly prioritize the readjustments. I think that's where the key lies. It's not expecting not to lose the attention, but it's being okay and then saying, my attention slipped. Now it's on my phone, I'm talking with someone, something else is going on. I have to draw myself in as quickly as possible. And then prioritizing that and doing that. And again, if it's not happening for you and it's not because you don't know how to do it or what to do, then it's likely because it's not been important enough. And then the last thing is just persistence. I would say I'm a pretty risk-averse guy. To me, I don't want to take too big bets. I would rather take small steps at a time, but continue for a really long time for it to work out, which is kind of the path that I've been on. And that's been working out really well for me. And it's also allowed me to just have a huge amount of personal development and professional development in that time without giving up. And I feel like that's really the important thing here, is that you might not believe that you can progress really fast or learn things fast enough for you to succeed. And that's okay. Not you should, but it'll be a lot easier to convince yourself to get started and commit to getting started if you're just okay with figuring things out as you go. So saying, hey, I don't have to be world-class at this in 3 months. You'll scroll on TikTok or on Instagram and you'll see people who, here's how I make 10K in 3 months. And if you can do that in a way that's legal and works for you, awesome. Like I have no ill will towards that. But if you set the expectation that you have to do that and you focus more on the outcome than what you have to learn to get there and the process itself, the learnings, then there's a lot of pressure on being perfect rather than on learning. And if you instead have the perseverance to just go, okay, I'll fail as many times as it takes and I'll learn along the way, and then at some point it'll work. It's really difficult to not make it work at some point and in some capacity. Might not be exactly what you expected, but it'll probably be better than the starting point. So all of this to say, like, I have a feeling that a lot of at least young men in today's age, maybe they feel motivated, but they don't have that agentic execution, or maybe just a lot of agency. And so if you're ambitious but you're lazy, I think start with your identity. Like, who do you want to be? What kind of person do you want to become in 20 years, 30 years, 50 years? When you look back, what kind of person have you been and what have you done to live a life without regret? And you can't eliminate regret completely, but you can definitely go, okay, like, I have a feeling if I make this adjustment and go down this path, I'll probably be more content and more fulfilled with that and have less regret than staying on the path I'm at or going down this third way. So all of this to say, if you don't have the reason, if you don't have the identity, you gotta have something that either lights a fire under you or pulls you in the right direction. You could have the best idea, you could have the best budget, you could have the best people, but without like the fire underneath you, the burning platform, nothing's really gonna happen. And I'm not here to kind of instill any kind of fear. I'm just here to say it's a lot simpler than you think, but it probably also takes more than you think, but that's okay. Like that pain, those lessons along the way will be worth it. You'll appreciate them when they come and they'll bring you lessons and you'll also get the reward. It will be different than you imagine, but it will be worth it. So back to the initiation of the video. If you do struggle, start and figure things out. It's stupidly simple. It really is, and I'm not trying to promote anything here, but just start. Choose a niche that you think sounds good, and then realize that there are going to be tons of other shiny things that you could look at, but you're just going to stick with this one thing. And do that for a full year before you even consider any other ideas. Like when someone brings an idea to you or you scroll past something and you think, oh, maybe I could do that, toss it aside immediately. Yes, you could do that, but that would ruin all the progress you've made with the thing you're doing now. Pick one thing, accept that you'll fail a lot, commit to just figuring it out, and then work as many hours per day as you can for a full year, producing revenue or delivering to clients. If you do that, I don't see how you could fail. Of course, insert disclaimer, this is not financial advice, this is not legal advice, etc., etc. Like, this is just purely what I've seen success with. So maybe you can use it, or Mosey's use of useful is very suitable for this, or appropriate. If you like this video, make sure you subscribe. We're close to 1,000 subscribers and your help is greatly appreciated. If not, that's okay.